Season 10, our second consecutive season in the Premier League after going down, coming straight back up, and then staying up last season. We're now looking to build a whole team of assets, and then just hopefully that team builds and builds and goes up the Premier League as time goes. As you can see, got a nice looking squad now. It's probably the busiest windows of this whole save so far, to be honest, and it probably won't be much busier in this. So, Felix Judd, he came in and went out something like 6 odd million. He looked okay at the start, but he was never going to have a big ceiling of potential. So I sold him on to sort of get a better player. French Allen did leave for 32 million, which was a lot of money to me at the time. I wasn't really getting budgets, and I've got to sort of sell on these players. I also have loads of midfielders. He wanted quite a big wage, and there was kind of better players I was looking at, which is mad because he's a good Premier League division player. He's very good for me. But he went to Norwich 32 million. I sold one of my Spanish wingers from Valencia. Rival got injured straight away. He didn't really have as good potential as my scout originally said, or I kind of hoped. So we went to Rangers, 9 million, would take it. The Brazilian winger, who's kind of like a right back stroke right winger, he did all right, but I had a pretty decent offer for him, if I'm honest. And I just felt I could get sort of better players at the time. So he's a good player. I'm selling lots of good players here, but I'm also going to get a lot in. I sold a Japanese winger for about 10 million. Again, he was decent, but didn't have the potential I wanted / could get. Another big sale. He's a little bit unhappy because I haven't played him loads and loads, but I got him on a free. Probably the last real player in this team. He went for 34 million, but I got him on a free a year ago. Good holding midfielder for me, but he just didn't quite hit it. Sold him to sort of Saudi Arabia. When those sort of offers come in and you've got a lot of other wonder kids looking at you, I just went for it. Again, another one who looked a really good signing initially. He played well for me for a year, but 25 million. Sold him to Saudi Arabia. Again, with the midfielders I'm bringing in, I had a lot of midfielders. They did all right in the Premier League last season. I just feel I can just step it up. Again, signed him for 6, sold him for 12. He just didn't have the potential I ever wanted. He's still a good championship player. Another midfielder gone. 5 million for a backup keeper that I signed for 4. I hoped he was better than he would be for a backup keeper. I was going to keep him, but an offer came in again, and I was like, right, okay, that's fine. And finally, good young right back. He got a little bit unsettled, so I signed him for 28 million to Dortmund. I've already got unsettled, or I found another right back. I know what we're thinking. I've sold a lot of talent here. And a bigger thing for me is always cohesion. But there's just so many good transfers this season for me. It's a big gamble, but we'll see. At 13.5 million, I got this Brazilian holding midfielder. Depends if I'm playing a 4-3-3 or I can sort of retrain to be a box-to-box. But look at some of these stats. Just got amazing sort of technique, fast touch and all that. But a bargain, really. Doesn't have loads of potential. It's probably the least exciting of all my signings, but still, good Premier League division player. I brought in this centre-back for 14 million, already worth about 64. I think I signed him from AC Milan. He had come through from Argentina, but he never really played much. But I just needed him as an option, so I brought him over. I brought this winger in for about 17 million, another Argentine winger. He was on a transfer list at Man United, I think. Yeah, he's sort of River Plate, gone to Man United, done really well in the Scottish division, never really played for Man United, so I got him in. I signed a Spanish midfielder from Real Madrid for 16 million. Again, come from the academy, played here and there, played quite well in about 5 games. 6.5 million, very solid signing. Right back, just felt I needed another one, and I was selling some for 24 million, got him for 6. It's not the best for doing it, but that way you can get more money for other transfers. It was just quite a crazy. Looking back, it was a mad summer. It's actually a big gamble as well, because more about cohesion. I basically ripped up the entire squad from last season, but I do feel like I'm just getting more solid assets in. 32.5 million from Man United for his Japanese international. Really good stats, really good player going forward. Creative. Jack Rogers in for 29 million. My favourite feeder song. And for English centre-back, played a bit for a national team. I think he would, I was looking for a while. He went sort of Middlesbrough to Brentford. And he was really bad for Brentford, but then surprisingly went to Man City and was like for 29 million when I was looking at him. My scouts have told him about him for years. I just wanted to see him perform. He kind of did at Man City. So, yeah, I bought him for 29 million. So another good winger, Turkish winger. So I've got 2 sort of good Premier League division players like on that wing now on both sides. From Real Madrid. He's sort of good for Galatasaray. I went to Real Madrid, never played, and I signed him. That's awful business by Real Madrid, isn't it? Signed another midfielder, 19 years old, 7.75 million. Wonder kids. Just got, this is what I mean. I've sold those players I did sign, got other ones in. I'm constantly getting assets in. This is the squad. So I'll go to that. Good keepers still, solid centre-backs at the back. I still need to improve that centre-back position and go forward. Ben Rosier, the right back for a few years now. Got this one in as well. Yeah, I've still got some really good players. He can play number 10. One year he only played like 3 games last season, but he's like growing a lot still, so I'm going to use him a lot more. Just a lot of solid players. My best centre-back there. My left back. So remember the left back, I've signed from Bristol City, everyone signed from Blackburn. I've been my left back and right backs for about 3 seasons now. So yeah, I'm just building that core. So there is still a core. Up front, I've got quite a lot of options, all young players. Duncan Elliott's growing really well, really solid midfield. Got him and Jack Day in. I signed for 25.5 million. I think it was in January of last season, was it? I think he came in and got injured. So yeah, if I haven't picked that one up, that's the player I did sign as well. And yeah, I got him in number 10 as well. And he needs to improve a little bit. But yeah, we've got a really solid squad. We predicted 15th, still quite low, but at least we're out of that bottom three in predictions now. And yeah, hopefully it's going to go quite well. The aim was still to stay up this season, of course, but get away from that bottom three. A nice 3-1 against Dortmund in my last friendly. We started our first game at home to Arsenal, and it was the opening of the Torquay United Stadium. There it is, look. Capacity of 21,000, can go up to 31,000. And at last, we have our own stadium. Play more, thank you. It's been great. But here it is. And what was a historic game for the club at a new stadium went well, because in 2 minutes, Arsenal scored. Yeah, made it 1-0. But never mind, because it would get improved. 9 minutes in, we've got the ball on the right-hand side, crossed it in, and the first goal of the new era is an own goal for us at our own stadium. Don't know what Ramsdale was just doing there. But then in the 67th minute, Frank, my new right back, got the ball forward, played a lovely ball to look at that, through Ramsdale. He's had a shocker, and it's 2-1. We beat Arsenal on our first game at the Torquay United Stadium, and hopefully it's the start of a new era where we are just going to be a secure Premier League team. Naturally lost 4-1 at Man City, and Haaland was just boring, but that's fine. 3-1 win against Sunderland, that was really important to me. 2 home wins already, beat Wimbledon League Cup. Did lose at West Ham, but still 2 wins and a loss, and just 2 very sort of beating Arsenal, and then that sort of secure kind of win over Sunderland's really kind of hope there was going to be a gap, and that we've got Preston in the Premier League this year as well. Tottenham's made a bad start. But yeah, got Newcastle on a bad start as well down there. But we'll see. Man United top. I still need to change the name on that. Went out of the League Cup to Chelsea again, no disgrace. Always disappointing. I played pretty much a full strength team as well. Disappointing 2 defeat home to Wolves and in the league. Not great. It's going to happen though. We bounced back with a 1-0 win at Brentford. Jack Day, what a guy, been with me for years. How many years now? Look at that. So it's a lot of time he's made a decent start as well. Free transfer when I just got promoted from League Two as well to League One. Wow. 2-0 win against Brighton. Crucial, building that gap. 2-1 defeat at Bournemouth, disappointing, and a 1-0 defeat at home to Everton. But 13th, and already we've built up a gap of like 7 points from that bottom three. So yeah, Preston not having a great time. Good to see them in the Premier League though. But yeah, still building it. I just feel a couple of disappointing results, but we're getting there. Tactics, I change all the time. I'm up to 4-2-3-1 at the moment. I never used to use fullbacks on FM, the last 2 FMs. I play pretty similar tactics all the time that I have done, but I never use fullbacks. So I've gone for more fullbacks now. It seems to help the wingers, obviously, because you don't want everyone on attack. So I used to have a wing back defend, we've always gone for, but yeah. And I'm just kind of seeing what suits players. Just trying to find that rhythm, try and find that starting lineup. But my philosophy is also have a good tactic football that lets players play. And once they're good enough, they will. So it's always the players' fault. We then went to Tottenham away. And what a crazy game this was. So 8 minutes in, with bloody woke ball, as we call it, went 1-0 down, trying to pass out the back. I do like passing it out and sort of quick passing football. I don't like this slow, ponderous stuff, but get it forward quickly eventually. But 1-1 in the 55th minute, one of my many new gen strikers. I lost track which was which. I had so many going through, but Oliveri, my new winger, Calderon, Valencia. Calderon's doing really well in that sort of role, and Valencia scoring. My striker, Blen, the 88th minute, dagger through our heart. Tottenham, lovely move, 2-2 by Suarez. But then 94th minute, got the ball. Angel Valencia, my best striker by a mile for the last few years, and look at that for a finish by one of my new midfield. I think that's the one from Real Madrid. And then 30 seconds later, we're too busy celebrating and it's real. But still, as poor as Tottenham's been in this season so far, and they did complete out players with all shots and that, but 3-3 draw at Tottenham shows what sort of team we are. Follow that up with a 94th minute equaliser against Man United after being 2-0 down. Valencia, this is so nice. We actually sort of see competitive games now. 2-0 win at Newcastle, which is a ridiculous result, and then a 2-0 win home to Norwich. Man, we're up to 10th in the league at last, and we're looking pretty safe already. We're halfway there to the 40-point mark, and it's just this team's really starting to grow now. I really felt like it was a big gamble with a lot of players. Players were going out. Callum Doyle was going to Saudi Arabia. Jones was unhappy because I hadn't played him much. One of my strikers going to, I think that's, where's he? Where he go to in the end? Yeah. And then I've got another midfielder who's come in that's not replayed. Because I signed some midfielder, it's always going to be a bit of a gamble. But my players are doing really well. And this like the keeper's been there for a long time now. That defense is going to be really solid. That right back, left back's here. Jack Rogers, centre back Ronnie's been next to him. Duncan Elliott, all these players. My career midfielder. So I'm just building this kind of. Now I'm playing a 4-2-3-1. It's obviously let the number 10 play as well. Steve Hubbard, he's been a very big disappointment so far. So yeah, it's gone great. Jack Day's been great, but he's got injured. And we're just getting the right balance for the team, and we're getting there. I hope now we're getting these assets. This team will grow, and we just keep signing players, selling for more, and all that.